Good morning. I'm Tiffany. Welcome to Breakfast at Tiffany's. I'm Tiffany, your host of today's breakfast, which is Diamond Detour, because we're still working on that from the last episode, which was episode 9. So, yeah, that's what we're doing today. All right, I'm going to see who's all here. No, I do not need the computer. We got Linda, Michelle, Geraldine, Polly, Serena, Norma, Ursula, Teresa, June, Christine, Lisa, Mary, Dawn, Minnie, Vicky, Albia, and so many more. Good morning. Hello, everybody. So we're working on the Diamond Detour. So if you type an explanation pattern, it will bring up a link to find said pattern if you would like to make it from today's lovely video. So like I said last time on episode 9, I was going to finish my diamonds. Well, I did most of the diamonds because a few people out there that are following along did not understand the instructions that well, or at least they were sort of confused. So I saved out 5 diamonds worth. And on today, we're going to have Scott hold the camera and come around here so that I can show you how to assemble these diamonds and cut them. Because I think the pattern may be a little confusing, but it's really not. It's just because it's not a colored picture, like some patterns have a colored photo of a block. I think because it's not a colored photo, it makes it seem maybe a little confusing, but it's really not. So I saved out 5 blocks. Scott's going to take the camera, and I'm going to show you how to put these blocks together. And I'm also going to chain piece and chain cut and so on and so forth. I'm not going to press until the final round around it. The other thing I'm going to show you is when I cut out all of my diamonds to make them the correct size, I followed the instructions on the first cut. Then I decided to make myself a paper template of the whole entire diamond. And then I laid it after the first cut on there and went cut, cut, cut the rest of the way around with my ruler and my paper template. That way I didn't have to measure from here out and here out and here out because of the fact that I used a dark fabric and I cannot see my lines through the ruler. So highly suggest just take a piece of paper and take one of the diamonds that you cut, you know, your background diamonds. Just take one of these, lay it on the piece of paper, like on an 8.5 by 11 inch piece of paper, lay it on there and then cut the paper around it and you get the perfect template. Because the 8.5 by 11 paper is not really, it doesn't fit the template this way because this is too long from here to here. So you actually have to like kind of turn it sideways. So that is a suggestion for those that want to do this. To make the cutting go faster, a little paper template helps. So I'll show you how I use that. Also, when he brings the camera around to show the cutting, or the sewing part and cutting part, I want to make sure that I reiterate on where you have to lay your piece, because or else you're going to have like this little cutout around your pieces and you don't want that. You need to lay it a specific way. So for those that have never sewn diamonds, we're going to make sure that we get all of that. So are you ready? Oh yeah, you could show them that. Hold your hand behind it so that they can see. But if you don't lay it a certain way, then that little cutout is going to end up on there. So you can see that right there. So we're trying to prevent that from happening. Obviously, I sew quick and I, rush through things. So that is why that's there. So Scott's going to bring the camera around and we're going to start. Just come on this side because that way you're not in my way. All right, so he's going to come around and we're going to get started. I'm also going to, while he's coming around, line up my 1/4 inch seam because I did not pre-do that because I have been kind of busy this morning. Getting jobs prepped for the long arm is what I've been doing. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of our first piece, which is the smallest number that we cut. Remember, I cannot give you measurements. We're going to take one of those small ones. And we're going to take one of these diamonds. And we're actually going to put it laying like this. Right sides together like this. Oops, like this right here. Look, I'm this way. It's opposite. Sorry. So we're opposite. Like this. And then right here in this corner, I don't know how well you can tell, but it sticks out about, I don't know, not even a 1/4 inch, but it's not an 1/8 of an inch. It's kind of the in-between. We want it to stick out just a little bit. And that is to prevent that lovely little boo-boo that happens if not. So I'm going to sew this, and then I'm going to repeat. So make sure it's backwards like this. Lay it on there. I'm also going to make sure that I have that little piece just kind of hanging out. It's not at the edge. Hold on. It's hard to hold it without moving it. So you can see that blue from my piece right here. You want it to where it's sticking out. You do not want this at the corner, which I can't align it because I kind of can't move it while it's in my hand. You don't want it sitting on the corner. You want to be able to see just a smidgen of that piece right there. That way you avoid that little indentation in the block itself. So I'm going to go ahead and just sew that through. Move that to the side. Grab another piece. I'm just making sure that I'm laying them the correct direction, like this, making sure that piece is hanging over, sliding it through. Once you sew a bunch of them, you kind of get used to the way they need to lay. And the last one, oops, this direction. So it's like that. So it sits kind of funky like this, and then you lay it on top like that and make sure that little piece is hanging out. That was probably the part that was confusing the people that messaged me. So those of you out there that had, you know, a little bit of struggle with this, that's just what you need to do. Get rid of that long tail. And then everything gets pressed towards the center. So I'm just going to go ahead and finger press this towards the black for me. So I'm just making sure they're finger pressed back really nicely. And then we're going to go over here to the cutting, and we're going to make our cut. So we're going to lay this right here. We're going to lay these just like this right here. So this is me facing it. You're kind of on my side. I'm going to grab a little ruler, and we're going to trim away by lining the ruler up with the edge of the diamond, and we're going to cut away the little part right here, just the little part on this edge, leaving that longer part hanging off of there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that again. I'm just lining it up with the edge right here. We're going to line it up and just cut off that little tiny bit. Lay it on the edge. Cut the little tiny guy. It's fairly simple. There is a lot of cut, sew with this, but if you chain piece it, you can just chain cut, chain iron, chain whatever. Just chain the whole thing together. All right, so now that that's cut, let's go back to the sewing machine. We are going to put our next size piece on here. Oops, grab the whole thing. So now we're going to lay this direction right here. So it's facing me. I got my diamond point from the black right here on my right side. We are going to take the next piece and we are going to lay this on top here. Again, you're going to make sure that it sticks out on this end just a little bit. So not quite a 1/4 of an inch, but not an 1/8 of an inch. It's sticking out. So you can see that, and then you're going to line it up. And sew it on. So again, just going to lay it right sides together. It's sticking over just a little bit. It's not quite a 1/4 inch, but it's not 1/8 of an inch. So if I flip it over, you can see that little piece sticks out right here. That's perfect, just about that amount right there. Line it up, sew it on. Next piece. Again, everything is laying the way it needs to lay. So I'm just going to hang that over just like this. You can see it kind of just makes a little like L shape up there. Grab the next one. Same thing. Really easy. Just line it up. And one more. Again, it's going to stick out just a little bit. Line up that edge. And oops, sew it on. All right, so I'm going to snip these apart. And we're going to finger press towards, yes, towards the black. So I'm just going to go towards the black. So you can see that I now have my fabric lined up exactly on the edge. Right there. So I have no gap at all. So you can see there is no gaps between that corner. Each time I press these with my finger, if I use the iron, it's going to be the same thing as long as there's no gap and it's a continue, or else you're going to have a little V right there if you don't line it up. So that's probably what was confusing some folks out there. And I did want to make sure that we covered that. And then we're going to trim these. So let me get this situated with my fingers. I'm going to come over here. And now they're going to get trimmed this side right here. So I'm going to turn it sideways just like this. And I'm going to line up the ruler with the edge of the diamond. And I'm going to trim off that small side right there. So line it up, trim it off. Line it up. Come on, stay finger pressed the way I left you. Trim it off. Just like this. All right, and then we go to the next size. So what we're going to do now, this one's might be a little confusing. We're going to take our pieces now, and we are going to take this piece, which is our next, the bigger of the two bigger sizes, the smaller one of it, not the biggest, but the smaller one. Now that we're moved on to the big ones, we're going to take our units like this. Okay. We're going to put it right sides together like this. So you're going to make sure again that you have that little point. If you go too far this way, you're going to lose your diamond. So you just want to make sure a little bit is sticking out. And then I'm going to line it up and sew it. I'm going to lay it over like this. So it's sticking up. It's a weird, funky looking piece. I got that little point sticking out. Try to move these out of my way. And you can veer off if you want to. You don't have to sew down the whole entire thing. I tend to do that because I'm just chain piecing, so I'm in a rush. But so I just line it up. And then I kind of just veer off. All right. Line it up, making sure that little tip is sticking out. And last one. All right, snip these apart. And then we're going to finger press these towards the black. So I'm just going to finger press towards the black for now. And then as soon as I get all these done, I'll iron them. Hey, no bag eating, kitty cat. The cat's trying to eat the bags. He likes the crunching sound. He's not really eating them. He just likes to crunch on them. All right. So again, all towards that center. I don't know why they have you pressing towards the center, but whatever. All right. And now we're going to lay this right here. Just like, oops, this. We're going to trim off this side. So I'm going to lay it right here in front of me where the diamond is facing this way. We're going to lay the ruler lined up with that centerpiece. And now we're going to cut across like this. Okay. So the diagram, this is probably what's confusing. The diagram shows it this way and it wants you to trim like this, but that's kind of backwards. So turn the whole entire thing and lay it on here and trim across. It's very, very easy. And one more. And then we'll sew that last. All right, so now we have the last and final giant piece. This time, they're going to sit this direction. So now your piece like this is sticking out this way, right? And then we're going to take the next piece right here. We're going to put this on this side. I'm going to put it right sides together. Again, that little piece needs to stick over just a little bit because you don't want that little indentation. And then you just start your sewing all the way down. And I just go all the way down on this piece because I can't tell where it starts and stops. So again, you can see that I have it laying about that far above. I'm just going to put it right sides together with that little piece hanging above that. Making sure remember, it just lays like this. So the point is towards me on my right. That's how you know you're laying it the correct direction. All right, 2 more left. And notice my pieces are in order each time because if I sew them in order, then they're stacked in order. I restack them back in that order as I'm cutting and sewing. That allows me to chain piece stacks of stuff. And it becomes repetition, so you end up learning, you know, if you do it over and over and you got a ton of blocks to make, that color order kind of just embeds itself in your memory for that moment, you know. All right, so we're going to snip them apart and then we are going to start trimming. So can you turn the iron on, Mr. Scotty?
What's the name of this pattern?
This is called Diamond Detour. So I'm pressing again towards the black. And you can type in explanation pattern and it'll give you a link. That link will pop up in the chat. Yeah, if you just plug it in and give it to me over here. Yeah. Oh.
Do you want me to put the camera back?
Oh, yeah. Put the camera back.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes. Put the camera back now. And watch the cat get into thread. Well, there's little threads on the floor right there.
He's not into anything. He's being good.
Scotty's going to put the camera back and plug the iron in for me. That's fine right there for now because I'm going to have you re-pick it up so that I can show this, but you won't have to come around to this side.
Want me to hand you the iron over there?
Yeah, please. Just put it right here. Thank you. All right. So now I'm going to press my blocks as soon as the iron is warm. Takes a minute. We don't keep the iron plugged in and on because it gets so hot in here. I don't know about you guys.
Way too hot.
This room is like 11 by, like 10 by 11 or 10 and 3/4 by 11 feet, something like that. And I don't know, it just gets so hot in here. There's a fan on, and everything. And then the lights, you know, to be on live. Yeah, it gets kind of hot in here. So we just unplug it. So we have to wait for it to turn on. That's why you guys see me wait a lot of times for the iron to turn on. Okay, so I'm going to lay these here, making sure that everything is still pressed the way I pressed it with my finger. I'm going to give it a good steam, because I like steam. I'm a steam iron grill. I'm a steam iron grill. I'm a steam iron girl. Making sure that everything's nice and flat. Get me some steam on there. Sorry, my seam was starting to turn the wrong direction. 2 more to press, and then Scott can hold the camera while we trim. And I'll show you how to do it, because I can't see with the rulers the other way. So the whole template idea thing, genius. I have to do that.
There was no trimming on the last piece?
No, no trimming, because this is the final, the last trim is the whole trim. All right, so I'm just gonna move this out of my way because I don't need that now. You can take the iron over there, and we're gonna show them how to trim. Yes. If I can now pick up this lovely ruler. Hold on. Can you give me the ruler, please? My nails don't allow me to pick it up. All right, just hold it up facing down right here. From right there is fine. All righty. So here, yeah, I'm going to make sure real quick because I haven't done this in 2 weeks. It was 3. Yep, that's what it was. All right, so we're going to put our ruler down, and this is the number I can tell you. From this center line right here, on this big piece, on the last one we just connected, that center line, that seam, we're going to line the ruler up on the 3-inch mark. Now you can see, I can't even tell on this. I can barely see. Plus the ruler is, you know, bright. So what I'm doing is I'm lining up the ruler line at the 3-inch mark at that pivot right here. And then I'm looking for my stitching down at the bottom because I can't tell. So I'm lining it up 3 inches down there and 3 inches on my stitches right here. And then you make your first cut, okay? Then this is the easy part. Just take your template that you have now created, line it up with the point here, line up this edge, and this is all we do. Instead of measuring the rest of the way around, I just use my ruler, and I should have grabbed out my rotating mat because that's what I used, but no, I'm just gonna rotate by hand, making sure that everything is staying nice and flat, and it does. It kind of like static clings itself. Make another cut. Carefully turn it one more time and make my last cut. And as you can tell, now I have a nice 6-inch diamond, just like that. And as you can see right here on this piece has that indentation. There is no cutouts on any of these because we lined up that correctly by placing that piece just a hair over where it needed to sit. So you have a nice perfect piece. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat that. Yeah, I'm going to pull out my rotating mat, guys, because it makes things a little bit easier. So again, at this crease right here and along the seam, I'm going to line the 3-inch mark up here. And then down here on my stitching, because I can kind of see my stitching, make the first cut, line up your template, because again, this makes it so much easier than trying to line up the markings when you can't see them, because, you know, me and my dark colors. And then I'm going to go ahead and make my cuts. So there's one, turn it, and the paper just stays right there where I left it. Plus, I'm not like moving or anything. I'm just being very careful and cautious. And there I have another block.
Bam.
So just like that, you get them all cut down just by lining things up at the point, on the stitching, and at that 3-inch mark, like it says, to line up the template. It's right there on there. And then just cut all the rest of the way around. You can see I'm even sliding the ruler on my template and it's not moving. So it kind of like static, see, it's static clings itself. So I'm just sliding it off. All right, and there's another piece. So it's a lot easier, I think, using the template than trying to, I mean, if you had white diamonds in the center, you might be able to see what you're doing, but I do not. Yes, I made the template out of just an 8.5 by 11, just a plain piece of paper like this. And then I took one of my background diamonds, because you can see it doesn't go point to point, so there's no way you can cut it, you know what I mean? And I just laid it on here. I took my ruler, and then I cut the diamond template out. And very, very simple. Just so that I had a diamond to work with. And it made cutting all 100 and however many pieces that I'm doing here, it made it a cinch, let's just say. Made it so much better. All right, it's lined up. So again, making sure that that's lined up with my initial cut. And then I just line the edge of the ruler up with the edge of the paper. I'm not cutting the paper, I'm only cutting my fabric. If you're used to lining it up, it makes it really easy. And one more cut right here. Oh no, I'm saving all these big pieces. I'm literally doing this, ripping them off like that, and then I'm gonna make something with all that. Yeah, see, he's said there's a lot of waste, and there really is. I mean, so I'm just pulling off all these skinny little trimmings, and all of these half rectangles is what they are technically. I'm gonna use to make something else. And I've been saving them all, just the big ones from the final cut. So obviously I'll pull the rest of those off later, off camera. Oh yeah, you can put it back down now. All right, and then last and final one, I'm gonna go ahead and cut. As I throw pieces of fabric all over the place. I'm just lining my paper up. Yeah, this turned the project into a faster project by making a little template. You know, think smarter, not harder. That's all I gotta say. All right. And the pieces just rip off if you want to save your half rectangles. You know, they just come right off. Makes it really easy. And one more, just because it's literally right here in front of my face. So all that will go into my big stack, and you can imagine I have a large stack because there was 117 blocks. Technically, there's 120 total because we had 20 fat quarters to start with when we made all these cuts, and you get 5 diamonds per fat quarter. Oh, thank you. I decided to go with, okay, now I forgot what it was called again. What's the color?
Oh, I don't remember.
No, it wasn't seafoam. It's something about the Gulf Coast. It's called Gulf Coast. That's what it's called. That's the color. All right, so now all of my blocks are done, and now it is time. Problem with this situation right here is my design wall is 72 inches of width. My quilt is supposed to be 84. So I don't have 10 extra inches of space. So I'm just going to show you how it sort of goes together from the design wall, because I won't be able to do the whole thing that I will have to do from the living room floor. But I'm going to at least show you how the corners go on and how it's going to be assembled. No, I got it. Because I got it. I try not to, what's the word for it? Wrinkle the wall, because I flattened it out earlier. All right, guys, so I'm going to lay some of it on here, because if you're doing the smaller sizes, which is the tall or the grande, I'm doing the venti, which is the biggest size. I don't know how much of the wall you can even see, so we're just going to grab a couple of these just so that you can see how it goes together. So if you're doing the tall, which is the smaller one, that's 33 by 45, you're going to be, and this might not make sense as well to some people, but we're going to do, if you're doing the 20 blocks, so you're going to do 4 rows of 5 diamonds. And what they mean by 4 rows is, I'm going to lay these on the wall so that you can see. This would be row 2. And all of your black or background color diamonds are going to face the same direction. 3 and can you see down here, or do I need to go higher? No, I need to go higher. You're probably going to have to tip the camera up just a little. So there's 4 rows like that. Then of 4 rows of 5. So you would do like this. So I'm making sure to cover all the bases for all the people that are doing the different sizes. So it would go like this. Okay. Oh. If you lift the camera just a little bit, it will see it. No, just lift the frame up. Or move it back, but lifting the frame up should help. So I'm just going to show you how this goes together, but I'm not going to piece it yet. I'm just going to show you for the different sizes. So it says 4 rows of 5 for the tall version. Oops, making sure all of my diamonds are facing the same. And since I have all these pieces, I can go through all these different sizes for you guys. So there's 4 rows of 5. Right here's the 5th one. So this makes 4 rows of 5. So if you're doing that smaller version, this is how big it will be right here. So then you would fill in, just grab a stack of these right here. There are no Y seams. This is done like if you were to do blocks on point. This is put together just like you would put your rows that are on point. Like I said, a confident beginner could really do this. So if you have been sewing for over a year and you are confident with your seams and now putting your quilt tops together, you can definitely do this. I probably would have done this as a beginner because I'm crazy and I do whatever I want. Yeah, I mean, I was still a beginner when I did a Mariner Star, yes. It took a while, but I still did it. And I still improvised because the pattern was wrong. All right. 2 more. One and one more. So I'm going to show you, because this is the smaller size, just for video's sake. So those are the inner pieces. And then when you had cut, just make sure you cut the amount of your background pieces that you need for all this. So you would have 4 corner pieces. Oh, come on. 2, 3, and 4. And these would be going here, there. And since I'm using a solid, it didn't matter which way I cut them. If you guys remember when I cut them out 2 weeks ago. And one down here. But you would cut reverse color for your, pieces. Then I'm going to take these strange looking ones, and these would go in this section right here. So the one that we cut where you're supposed to use the template, but instead I just cut it at the tip. If you remember last week's, or not last week, but the week before's video, in video 9, you can also go back and refer to that video to see how all of this is cut if you need your help again, or if you're just now following along and just bought the pattern, or you waited for the pattern to come in the mail, because obviously I didn't give too much of a head's notice of starting this, which I should have, but I didn't. All right, so these funky pieces are on the sides. And then the only space we need to fill now is the triangles. So I would move these out of the way and find a pile of triangles somewhere around here. There they are. And we're going to take these triangles now, and these actually fill this section. And since I'm going to be piecing the rest of this my size off camera, because I got to lay it on the living room floor and hope that the cat doesn't mess up my orientation kind of thing, but I'm definitely showing you guys how to put the rows together. I just can't do that with this amount on the wall because I can't lay everything out at this very time. So that's why you're getting the somewhat way. All right, just so you guys can know how these rows are put together. I'm making sure I'm covering all the bases. All right, so that's what it would look like if you are doing the tall version. The grande is going to be, where is it at? It is 63 blocks worth, and you would do 7 rows of 9 diamonds. So when they say rows, this is 1 row right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So the small one is 4 rows with 5 diamonds, okay? So just in case that's confusing to anybody. So then if you were doing the grande size, again, it's, what did I just say it was? It was 7 rows of 9 diamonds. So it would be 2 more down, 2 more rows from this size, and instead of 5, you would have 4 more this way. That would be 9, okay? But this is a pretty good size. It comes out.
Are you sure that would make it way wider than long? It's 9 by.
No, it's not. Trust me. This makes it longer right here. Scott says, well, that would make it way longer than it is, or way wider than long. No, because the diamonds are long. So it would actually make, that's how this works. So again, 5 rows or 4 rows of 5 diamonds for the smaller one. And then the next size is 7 rows of 9. So there'd be 7 of these. Keep going. And then 9 across like this. Okay. And then my size, which I can't do on my wall, is 117 blocks. That is 9 rows. Okay. So I'd be doing quite a bit. And 9 rows of, where is it at again? Of 13 diamonds. So I definitely do not have the space right here to do that. Assembly wise, super cinch. Here is row 1, right here. That's row 1. That don't matter. Here is row 2. Right here, right there, and right there. Okay? So this gets attached to this, and this gets attached to this. You're going to keep this nice and straight right here. This side will get cut off. Okay? So then your next row is this one. Oops, this one. That one. This one. And this one. So there's row 3. Even though they're counting this as rows this way, that's not really what it is, okay? This is your actual row. And then this is an actual row. And when you piece together diamonds, here's something that you might want to know. When you piece them together, and they go right sides together, like this, so it's going to come right here so you can see. So this one goes over like this, and you're sewing this side. You are going to have a 1/4 inch sticking out on this side and a 1/4 inch sticking out on this side. You do not lay them on top of each other where the point touches the tip. You always, always, always with diamonds want to make sure that you have a 1/4 inch sticking out on both sides. So that V that is created meets up at the needle mark. If that, when your needle is down, it should land right in the center of that V. Okay? So that's how those would go together. Then once you get all those put together, this one is going to be exactly the same. So this weird funky piece, when you put it on here, it's going to lay over with a 1/4 inch mark hanging on it like this. And then when you open it up, it should lay perfectly flat and you'll have a nice flush end. And then again, this side will be flush, but this side right here is going to need this end piece lopped off. And you'll have a little, 1/4 inch tail hanging off on this bottom one right here. And then again, you'll have this row, this row, this row, and then they get smaller again. So your longest rows are this one and this one, right here and right here. Then it goes back to small again. It's really, really, really easy. So when you put them together, again, you're just going to, instead of lining up the edges, because you don't want the edge, you want, on the one side, you'll have a 1/4 inch. The other side, you will not. Because it's going to stick out a lot, because this is a funky corner piece that will get lopped off nice and straight. But this side will have a 1/4 inch, and your needle should land right down in it. So that way, when you turn your 1/4 inch over, I'm going to just try to turn this, that it ends up perfectly straight when it's sewn like that. It'll be a nice straight line, just like that. So that's how that works. Pretty easy. And again, I have to lay this on the living room floor, so you guys aren't going to see me sewing it together today. But all of my pieces are ready, and I can answer any questions while I am still here, because this is pretty much what it's going to look like. This is just the smallest version. Yeah, well, I could go lay it on the living room floor. All right, well, I guess if you want, guys, we can go to the living room and lay mine out, and I can get started, because I'll stack it, the rows. I'll stack this on top of this, on top of that, that, and then bring them back in here, and I mark my rows while I'm out there. So if you want, I can just go lay out the whole entire thing. You guys want to hang out in the living room, because, yeah, I haven't been on very long. Yeah, I think I'm going to border mine with black, and then I'll put black all the way around it, and then I'm going to find a purple batik, because I have lots of purple batiks. If you guys know, I love the color purple, and let's just say I hoard my purple batiks. I don't really hoard them because I use them, and then I'll go around it with purple. So that's what I'll do. And I had plenty of leftover fabric. Like I had all these other cuts, which I'll use to make something else, but I had yardage left over to cut like a 2-inch of the black to go all the way around my big size. And then I'll cut probably a 5-inch border of purple. So I'm going to go turn the lights on in the living room, and Scott's going to turn the lights on in the living room, and I'm going to pull these off the wall while he goes and turns that on, and we will go out there. And what's so special about what? Batiks, I don't know, I just like them. They're vibrant and nice. They're easy to press. There is one thing about batiks that I don't like is when you make a quilt that is all batiks, so say like the front and the back is batiks. My long arm, kind of the tension likes to go away, and I am not the only one. I've met quite a few long armers that say the same exact thing, that something about batiks, you have to mess with the tension a little bit more than you would with regular fabrics. But they're woven tighter, and they are hand dyed, you know, with stamps. So if you go watch videos on YouTube, there's videos of how batiks are made. But it's a really cool process, and I like them because there's a lot of work put into the batiks. All right, so I'm just gonna pick all these up, stack them all. We're gonna go to the living room, to the biggest floor in my house. This goes in my pile. Let's grab all 4 of these. And then all the rest of these. And then I'm going to need to take some clips. I'm going to need to take some clips in the living room with me of row numbers. Can I have these? That's the alphabet and numbers. No, I'm just going to use those. Yeah, they have alphabets and numbers on them. Just going to use those to mark my rows. All right. All my parts and pieces. All right. So I'm going to be doing 9 rows of 13. Here's all of my stuff. Let's go to the living room. In a second, because obviously I have to take the camera with too. Oh, Scott's going to get the camera. All right.
Do you have all the stuff?
I have everything, yes. The camera is moving, and we're going to the living room. And I'm taking my water with me. All right. Put it this way facing. And then just face it down towards the floor. All right. Let's put all of my pieces. Those are my triangles, funkies, and my corners. Did you get the pins? Or clips, I mean? My other diamonds and my big diamonds. All right. I'm not facing you. I'm going to face this way. So I need 7 rows of 9, right? Is that what I said?
Yes.
No, it was 9 rows of 13. 9 rows of...
Real big one? I heard 7 of 9.
No, that's the smaller one. It's 9 of 13. All right. So I'm just going to... Oh, we're going to have to turn all these fans off.
Okay.
All they're going to do is blow my pieces around. Oops. Tiffany. That's not the paper. Nine rows of 13. Okay. 9 rows of 13. Here we go, guys. Ooh, 9 rows of 13. So 1, 2, and I'm going to mix them up because I definitely don't want, you know, 1, 2, 3. You can't have them, kitty cat. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope. 9, 10. Oy, oy, oy. 11, 12. 12. And one more. Ooh, this is going to be big. 13. This is going to take me a minute to do, guys, to get all this laid out. So now I got to go a little bit higher. So I just realized it's going to be super huge. All right. My butt is going to be sore after this. Just sitting here. No, I'm good. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the black in between while I'm going, because if I don't, then I'm going to end up, having to come back and fill that in. So I'm just going to put them in as I lay it out. Ugh. Probably could do like one side and then do the other. I don't know. Or I could get on my knees. You guys can see how flexible I still am, I guess, even though it hurts to do this. All right, now. No, it's fine. No, I don't need you to hand them to me. I know you guys can't totally see what I'm doing at the very moment, but oops. I'm trying to also make sure that my diamonds are all facing the same direction. Oh, that's the same as that one. Let's put it different. Okay. Fill it with black. So I'm going to do this side and then go do the other side. I feel like this is going to take forever. All right. Next. Let's go there. Yeah, and I can't lay them completely squared because I cannot tell how squared they actually are on the floor. So it's going to look funky. Okay. In the way of it. Scott's going to put the camera on the other side of the room because I'm in the way. Oops, let's go there. Go there. Okay. Yep. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So notice Thumper just like stares at me when I'm doing this, but every now and then he'll get super hyper, and he'll like run across the room and slide across my pieces. I definitely hope he does not try and do that today. Because that would be not nice. Got to be a good thumpy, huh?
Won't it disrupt the pattern if you don't paste the colored diamonds all the way across?
No, I'm just kind of going crooked at the moment. So I'm going to go up there and do some of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You trim after each sew step.
Yeah, you trim after each step when you're putting your diamonds together. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm trying to get the 9 down part. That would be 8. Ooh, this is going to be huge. And then black pieces. And this would be 9 right here. All right. So it would be ending at 9. All right, so now I'm gonna build down now. Oh, that one matches that one. We don't want two of the same ones near each other. So now I'm gonna go back to that top and make my way back down. And all the while I'm making sure that all of my diamonds are going in the same direction, all the black centers. Because when I pick up my rows, I definitely want them to be in proper order. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so that's 13 across. There. And there. Fill it in. Fill it in. Fill it in. It's going to be one beautiful quilt. I can tell you that. I'm loving it already. Definitely a beautiful color choice to use black with purple. Oh, come on. Oops, turn the diamond. Thank you. And there's no rhyme or reason to my layout, by the way. I'm not putting it in any I'm just trying to make sure that no two same colors are like right there on top of each other kind of thing. Because I definitely don't want that. And I want a good variety mixed around. Yeah, this is going to be a beautiful quilt. I can see it already. Same as that one. We don't want that right there. This one. And obviously, like I said, it's kind of laying funky. The pieces are not flat at the moment. They're kind of getting bunched up on top of each other because of the space that I have here and the fact that I can't tell the way I'm laying it out from the start, you know. Come on. That's the same. Move him over there. Why does it seem like I'm running out of the black? Well, it's kind of weird, like, you know, feels like I'm running out of them. Probably not, but just feels like it. Oh, that's the same as that. We don't want that there. Let's put that there. Oh, no. I really am running out of black. I could have swore I cut exactly like the pattern said.
Who knew quilting was such an aerobic sport?
I'm telling you guys, this is like super exercise right here. I'm out of breath. Oh, yep, I'm out of black. Apparently, I did not cut like the pattern says, although I figured I did. I thought I did. Temporarily under that. Yeah, I could have swore I cut exactly what I'm supposed to cut. So we're going to have to go to the room and cut more fabric, my friends. Well, I am going to have to go to the room and cut more fabric because I only have 2 more black diamonds. 1 and 2. So, Scotty, we're going to have to go to the room.
Do you know what design you're going to quilt?
I have no idea. I never know what I'm going to quilt on it from the beginning. I don't pay attention to that. I got to go to the room, though, and cut 2, 3, 4 more strips, I think, worth of black. I don't know. You guys could stay out here. It takes like a minute to cut all this. You guys can hear me talk while I cut because I can't believe that. I could have swore I had cut exactly what the pattern said to cut. So weird. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I need a ruler that has a 6 on it. Is that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Okay. help if I had more light. Sorry, guys. I didn't expect this to happen. I could have swore I did what I was supposed to do. You can stare at my floor. Until then, and Scotty is in the chat. Trying to line all this up. Takes 2 seconds. Because it's angles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Half diamonds around the edge? No, the black, it goes around the edges. It's a specialty little piece that goes around the edge. So no half diamonds. 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm hoping this will be enough pieces that I'm doing right now. And remember, these are 60-degree diamonds as well, so not 45s. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 2 more. I don't know how many pieces I'm actually cutting because I'm not counting, but hopefully it's enough. I'm bad, I know. Three, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I hope this is enough. Here we come. All right, Scotty. You guys got a little thumper show for a moment while I got all these cut. Put that light over there. Things are going to be in my way, but that's okay. Thumper's what?
Cave.
Thumper's cave is a quilt over a rocking chair that he goes and hides under. That's what we call the cave. He's not in. Don't you rotated the screen? Yeah, it doesn't work if you do that. So it's a cave under that quilt on a rocking chair. That is what his cave is. Yeah. Well, that's his cave. And row. I only needed 117 pieces, and I might pull out some of these like super light ones. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a lot of them. I'm not 100% at the moment, though. That goes there. Move myself over. That one goes there. Oh, look at that. I overcut. That one there. This one here. And and that one. All right. That is what it's going to look like. Let's get the outer pieces on. I think I'm going to trade out. Trying to walk on it carefully. I'm going to put this in place of something that may look off. Like there's too many of these super light ones. Put that there. Got to take that look at it, you know, to make sure that it's equally balanced. Looks pretty balanced to me. I'm not really like super duper worried, but I think I'm going to put this one here and that one there. Just moving a couple around before I put the outer pieces on so that I can start clipping the rows. Seems like a lot of dark right there too. Let's find another light one to swap with. Oh, that one's already there. How about this one? Right here. There we go. And this one right here. I don't really have much swapping to do, so. All right. All the triangles. There should be plenty of these, hopefully. I don't have to go cut any of these either. It's probably just the big ones because, you know, when I'm on camera, sometimes I miss something, so it's most likely my fault that I miscut. But I didn't have to cut too much extra. Just a couple, yep. Only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I had to cut about 20 pieces. So that's how shy I was, but that's okay. I knew my stack kind of looked low compared to the black stack of, I mean, not the black stack, the colorful stack. All right, go on this side. And for those that are curious, yes, we walk on our quilts as we're making them. So if you are a beginner, don't be afraid to walk on your quilt because at some point you're going to have to eventually walk on your pieces. What spot? Right in front of the cave, right here. Over there in the corner. No, I think there's enough light. I'll swap the two pieces around. All right, look, I had an exact amount of this.
The camera doesn't show it. You have these three together. The camera makes multiple colors.
Oh, no.
They all-
But I'll swap these two like this. There we go. Now it should be equally light. All right, now for the next outer pieces. Yeah, the camera's not showing true color. All right, I'm gonna insert these guys. Very carefully, look. Yeah, this will be a really good size queen when it's done with a couple borders. Actually, it'll probably be king because it's supposed to be like, I don't remember the size. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, sure. It's supposed to be 84 by 99. Yep, so it'll be once sewn together. It looks big right now, but once it's sewn together, it should be, with the borders, when I add them, it'll be a really good size queen or fit on a king. A top and bottom? What do you mean? No, they're multi-directional because they're solids. All right, and that goes there, and that goes there. All right, and then my four corners, and then all I have to do is start stacking the rows and then bring them into the room to sew them. This. Very carefully, leg. All right. Oh, no, don't run. Don't run. Very carefully. Thank you, kitty. All right. Time to number them with my pins, clips. Wait, I hope there's enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21 rows technically is what's here. Okay, good. The numbers go really high. All right, now I just got to find number 1. Where's number 1? Number 1, where are you? They're my binding clips, by the way, guys, if you're wondering, and they all have numbers on them. As long as I can see the numbers, there's 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's 2, not 21. 1, 2, 3. All right, so I'm going to stack my rows like this. One piece on top of the other piece, on top of the other piece. And then I shall put a clip just like this. And then I'm going to stack my corner on there. Move these up out of the way. So piece 1 onto piece 2, onto 3, 4, and 5 for row 2. And then I'm put my clip on them. Just laying them out of the way. Here's the part where I have to kill myself on my knees here, guys. Ay, ay, ay. One on top of the other. Top of the other. No, Thumpy, don't even think about it. Top of the other. This is where I wish I still had carpet in here. If I still had carpet, I wouldn't have to do this. All right, there's 3. And I'm just going to stack these on top of each other to make it easy to move. Oh my goodness, this is killing my knees. I'm just going to squat.
You want me to do it?
Nope, I got it.
I can hand them to you. You can still.
No.
However.
Nope. I need to get my squats in this week. You know. Just know that this is a lot of exercise, my friends. This is why a lot of people only make little quilts, though. What number are we on? 4. Where's 4? Yeah, we don't have any knee pads here. All right, let's find number 5 before I even do it. There's 5. There's 6. There's 7. 8, 9, 10. All right, here we go. Oi. I'm still somewhat limber, my friends, and I work out, so not like heavily. I'm not Scott. Scott heavily works out. I do not. And I do get out of breath a lot faster than he does. And oh, yes, I know. You want to play with my clips now. Oh, you never know how much you work out until you walk across the floor like this in a squat. Woof.
A duck walk.
Yeah, this duck walk. Woof.
They make you do that before you can join the military.
Really? You have to do this to go in the military?
Yeah, they make you do a duck walk all around.
Ay, ay, ay.
A big circle, whole group of guys.
Oh.
They make you duck walk around for your medical.
Well, I won't be able to do this no more once I get my hips replaced. This will be out of the question. I'll definitely need a giant design wall then. I have to keep. I have to keep sitting. No, it's fine. No, it's fine. It's. I know, but.
I see what you're doing. I can do it.
No, it's fine. I will just swap now because the squatting is getting hard.
Do you want a cushion?
Nope.
We have plenty of cushions to fill it.
My butt slides across the floor just nicely. I did make sure all the diamonds were facing the correct direction, right? If one ends up backwards, it's not my fault, my friends. The squatting was too much for me. I'm just kidding. Not too much for me. It's almost too much for
We're
me.
using the black saw on the one side.
Yeah.
Come for now.
7. And I'm also putting my clip on the side that is the edge as I go.
Yeah. So far, the black is all on.
Yeah, it should be, because I was kind of trying to pay attention when I was laying them out. So in the beginning, when I was a beginner, what I would do, and it was really hard to keep Thumper out of the way, but I would lay the quilts on the floor like this, and then I would take my one row over to the room, and well, this was when I sewed in my bedroom, and sometimes I sewed out here. If I wasn't in my bedroom, I'd sew on the kitchen table, but when I was a beginner, I'd lay it all out on the floor, and then grab the pieces, sew them, put them back in place, and I was back and forth. Remember that, Scotty? Oh my goodness, I was all over the house then. But I made sure to keep everything in order until I learned that, you know what, you could just stack them all like this. Make sure you put the clip on the side, that's your edge. And then everything should be nice and in order. All right. What one am I on? 9. Then this is 10, 11, 12. Where's 13? One of these. That's 13. 14, 15. I'm putting them in order real quick. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. Did I say 22 rows? I don't remember. All right, back to the squat. Here we go. Oh, this is so fun. I'm definitely going to be in bed the rest of today. Oh my goodness.
When you refer to the edge, is that the side you sew?
Yeah, no, the edge is the outer side, so my farthest edge. This is the edge I'm clipping. So not this side or this side. This is what keeps me in order so that when I take this piece and sew it onto the next, I know that it goes this direction and not this direction. My clip is on the side that it's not going on, that I'm not sewing on. It's keeping this edge straight. So my next clip will be on this outer edge. The next clip will be on the outer edge.
Where did you get the numbered clips?
The numbered clips, Mary sent them to me. Or no, she gave them to me in person, I think. She either sent them to me in the mail or gave them to me in person when we went to QuiltCon. I have no idea where we can find them, honestly. I usually don't ask people where they buy things and how much it costs. I just know that you could just look up numbered binding clips. Oh, Fat Quarter Shop, probably. Fat Quarter Shop seems to have lots of notions. I'm starting to get super sweaty, too. I think I need a clip for my hair.
Okay, you want?
It's on the side next to the bed.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
Nope, not till I'm done. Because these will just start blowing. Which one? Oh. I, like everybody else, will sweat when doing stuff like this. If you don't break a sweat, you're not making a big enough quilt. It's funny, right? Oh, yeah. There we go. Next number. There we go. Hold on. I'm trying to make sure they stay flat. Back to the top. Whew, this is a workout for sure.
Oh, you got your workout done for today.
Yeah. Well, today's my leg day, it seems. Leg and butt day, because I'm dragging my butt on the floor. Oh. Okay, squatting is easier to pick these up. Problem is I can't hold the position too long. I was a gymnast too, guys, when I was young. Oh, I used to be able to do well, I could still probably do a cartwheel, and I could probably still do flips. Not backflips or anything like that, but, roll over on the floor like a dog. I could probably still, I could do a handstand and probably still walk on my hands across the room because I have really good upper body strength. That would be a sight, huh? A YouTube video, me walking on my hands. I mean, they've already seen me dancing on a long arm. Oh, let's do the stand and bend. All right, stand and bend this time. Because I want to do it. I'm lining them up very nicely so that they clip nicely and none of them fall out of the stack. Plus, I'm very particular about when I'm building quilts. So this is one of two of the longest rows here that we're at. And last one. And clip. There. Perfect. Next. Today's video is stare at Tiffy exercising. This is actually a pain on my legs too.
Okay, you take a break, huh?
I could take a break, and I'm going to take a break in a second.
Go back in the room and sit down and answer some questions and be done.
I'm going to take a second, drink some water. No, I want it cleaned up before Thumper gets all over it. He's intently staring at the darn thing. Yeah, he's like, I'm going to lay on Mommy's quilt. I'm going to get myself in trouble. Well, I wore yoga shorts for a reason today, I guess. Oh, all right, take a drink of water. And back to the butt, because I can't do that standing thing. I'm just going to scoot myself around on my booty. My bony little booty. Oops. Uh-oh, how did that go? That went that way. Okay. Whew. I actually do that in my socks all the time. In the wintertime, I do the run down the hallway and slide out here. Can't slide in the hallway, though, because the flooring is not perfect. We did it ourselves. You guys saw my video. And, well, let's just say that there is a ding in the floor, and feet and socks can catch it. I mean, every other part of the floor is nice, but that part, I think the tongue and groove broke. I don't think it. I'm pretty sure of it. Ooh! All right. Bring my pile closer to me. Okay, back to squat. Just like all over the place. I'm almost done, though. This is a giant quilt. Well, it'll be super giant when I'm done with it. I'm kind of thinking, because, I start thinking about what the quilt, I don't know what I'm going to quilt. I just kind of think about it. I'm kind of thinking of a flower of some sort, like some kind of rounded flower. Oh, that would work. I'm almost done, though. Probably got dirty wheels, though. No, because I'm almost done. I'm just going to do this now. 2 rows at a time or 3 rows at a time. However far my reach is from sitting in one position. I'm on 16. I just got all my little pieces out of order, but that's okay. So that would be 16. This is 17. 18. All right, this is the last of it. This should take just a minute to get the last of this all cleaned up. Then we can go back into the other room where I can die in pain. 19. It's 20. And 21. And then I'm going to just stick that last piece on there. So 19, 20, and 21. Just like that. There we go. Did you guys feel the pain? Did you get a good workout here today?
Feel the burn.
Feel the burn! Oh. All right. Pick up the last of my numbered clips.
Ready to go in the other room?
And yeah, you can go put that in there. I'll meet you in there in 2 seconds. Yep, I'm coming. All right. All right. All right, these can go over there. And let it get wrinkled. Don't get wrinkled. Here we go. And that one there. All right. Here are my rows. And move all this junk out of the way because I don't need it now. And come over here. And sit. You can tip the camera back up now. All right. This was the corner. So it went this, that, and that. Right there. And then this goes on like this. Me, the whole desk, like normal. All right. So now I'm going to put this row together, and this is going to be my straight edge right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this right sides together with this, and I'm going to make sure that I have a 1/4 inch hanging over on the one side. And I'm going to sew with a 1/4 inch seam. And then I think I'm going to be pressing everything towards the black.
Are we ironing again?
And then we're going to put this one on here. I'm not ironing at this very moment, no. I'm just finger pressing. I will iron when I'm ready. And then I've got my little 1/4 inch sticking out down here. All right, and then finger press towards the black. And as you can see, I have a nice straight edge right here. I do got to get rid of the little, it's kind of finger pressed nicely right here, but my little, divot right here has got to go. And then that. And then this side, I need to get rid of the stick out so that I can attach the whatchamacallit to it. So this now goes right here in front of my face, and this will go on that. So that is my corner, and I'll put it up on the wall with a clip on. Hopefully the clip will stay on it. Line that up on that corner. And finger press towards the black. And here is my corner, which will be, I'm going to just put, you know, right here for a moment. It's not even straight. There we go. That's straight. Now let's do this row. So it starts with that. It goes this. Oh, wait. This was 21. I'm pretty sure the clips will stay. I want to make sure that they stay marked.
Hey, do you want to see that now? You want to put the camera back up? You gotta make the mic
I have no idea what you're talking about. All right. It should be perfectly high. Bring the camera back then.
That's what I'm asking you. You're
Yeah.
the one that wanted to move. I had it where it needed to be.
All right. I'm going to sew this one now. And I 1/4 inch seam. Came right out at that point. Just going to finger press now. Lay it out and go, oh, hey, that's right. And then go to the next. Again, they go kind of crooked on each other. And you'll have a 1/4 inch sticking out on both sides. And if everything is pressed towards the black or your background, then all the seams will nest when you put your rows together. So I'm just going to show you. Get these on here. Now this one. Press it towards the black. And obviously I should be ironing, but at this moment I'm not. And then this one goes here. So I want a 1/4 inch down here at this bottom, but the biggest part of this weird funky piece is going to be on the top. And I'm going to press it towards the black. So now I'm just going to trim off my weird funky piece at the end. Even though I didn't press, I would say press first, but you know, I'm already hot and I don't want to turn the iron on. All right, so that is trimmed. So now, I'm just going to mark that real quick. We're going to take the 21 and put it on top of 20 right here. So these two rows will go together. So I'm going to go right sides together. I'm going to have a stick out on the bottom, and I'm going to have a 1/4 inch sticking out on top. But the best way to do this is to take a pin and nest this lovely seam up, but they don't bump. Instead, you're going to fold it back, and at the 1/4 inch is where the 1/4 inch in. Scott, if you want to put the camera down, they can see. If you create a line right here, you just hold it up and over me. So I'm going to pretend that I sewed a 1/4 inch seam. If you can see, the black touches the black right here, right? At that, and it creates a nice straight line right here. So this is right here where I need to cross over. Literally right here. So let me grab another pin so I could show you.
Tiff is using a pen?
Yeah, I'm using a pin.
You have to tell him that.
Yeah, I'm using a pin. I never pin, but I'm just showing you. So when you fold this back a 1/4 inch, you should have, it's hard to see because the next fabric right here is darker. You should have a straight line from black to black, or your background to your background. I need to adjust because I folded it more than a 1/4 inch. But that's how I know where my point is going to be. So I'm going to put the pin down right there and then throw the pin in like this. So now I'm going to sew down here. I got about a 1/4 inch hanging out up here, and then obviously a lot hanging out down here.
I didn't get the camera.
Oh, the 1/4 inch is right here. So it's sticking out. So that way when you open it up, it completely covers that end. Then those 2 points are going to nest. And you can see they don't look like they're the same, but they are because I went in a 1/4 inch in on that seam and I'm coming out right here a 1/4 inch in on that bottom side. So I'm going to go ahead now and line it up. And we're just going to sew this so that you guys can see. Just follow the directions. I'm going to take my pin out real quick because I need my pin out. Right? My piece shifted when I was showing you guys. There. That's where I'm going to cross over. I don't like pins. I usually just use my fingers for everything. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just hold this pin right here, come up to it, and cross over. And I don't pin usually. I make a mess with them. I stab myself, and well, I'm just lazy. And continue on down. I do have a big giant piece hanging over right here, but I should come out at the V that is created when I sew this. And I came out exactly on that V right there. So you can see there, it created a giant V. I literally, stitching wise, came out exactly on that. So let's see what this looks like and how my points did. Oh, look at that. Almost perfect. I'm just going to finger press it away.
Almost. It looks pretty darn good.
So this one is exactly on. This is the one I took the pin out and used my finger. This is the one that had the pin in it. You can see it's not 1/8 of an inch. It's like a millimeter, but it's, you know, nobody's ever going to know.
It's pretty darn close.
Yeah, it is pretty darn close. I'm so used to this is why, because I've done so many. I love diamonds. Diamond quilts are my thing. I do notice that there's a little bit off right here, so I'm going to have to probably take this piece off and re-sew it back on there. It's matching up here at the top, but it's not matching right here on this side.
No, it's not.
And it's going to lose that 1/4 inch seam right there, and I'm going to lose that point. Right here looks good, you know. So I think it's this piece, because we want enough right here along the top to have a seam allowance. Especially those that aren't adding borders and they're just going to bind around that edge. You want to be able to have room. So this piece is probably missized, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put this up here. So like 1 or 2 more.
So what you have to do is take that piece off and put
Yeah, I could just take that piece off and put a bigger one on, yes. All right, so I'm just going to grab as I go. So I'm going to put this one on first.
Showing it again?
No, they don't need to see it again. I'm going to make sure that I have a 1/4 inch on that bottom. And I'm going to sew it. Then I'm going to finger press it towards the black. That way everything is opposite of each other. Lay it down. My next piece is the black. So I'm going to lay it here. Put it right sides together, which is crooked. You know, it doesn't go on top of each other. There's no way to do that. I'm going to have a 1/4 inch on both sides, sticking out. And I'm going to sew from the V point to the V point. Press it towards the black. Just using my finger. Grab this guy right here. Right sides together. Making sure that I'm creating those points. And this can be done just from sitting down, stacking your rows. I like to make sure in between, so I always am checking and looking back, and I sew them together as I go usually too, just like this. I keep going. I get the row done and then I sew them because I end up getting them out of order if I don't. Of course, that's what the clips are for, is to keep it in order. It is also best to actually iron with an iron, but these are batiks, so it's okay. So I'm just going to grab this next one. I know that's the way it goes. All right, finger press it towards the black. And then the last piece is going to go like this on here. So I'm going to make sure that I have the 1/4 inch on this bottom, but the top has a lot hanging over. All right, and towards the black. I'm going to go ahead and trim off this edge right here, this little funky piece. All right, and then this will now go here, and this will go on top. So I'm not even going to bother pinning because I'm used to this. So I'm just going to go ahead. Again, I'm creating a V at the top. And then I'm going to go ahead and just eyeball judge this. I just fold it back and look and make sure that my black is touching properly. Sew to that seam, leave the needle down, line up the next one, sew to it, leave the needle down. If you put pins in it, that's more power to you. But I don't like pinning. I just kind of match it up and go, oh, hey, look, that's right. Leave the needle down, go to the next one. I just roll it back about 1/4 inch and then touch the 2 black pieces. When I know it's where I want it, I sew. And then one more right here. Rolling it back right there. And then I'm going to sew the rest of the way down, and I should come out on this long pieces V. And I did. I came out at the tip of that weird end off piece. So I'm going to go ahead now and finger press it away from me. That point is perfect. Perfect. Perfect again. And wait, perfect again. Literally, they are, guys. Like, they're usually not this perfect, but this is like, yeah. So I'm 2 for 2 matching up seams. There's 2 rows. Except for this corner. That's the only thing that's messed up so far. All right. I'm going to take these off here because I don't need them now. And we're just going to put you up here to show that this is how it is done. And you can see, you can't see, but I could see and point it to you. They literally are, the blacks are perfectly touching and the corners of the colors are perfectly touching. Again, if you were a beginner, pin it, put pins in it, fold it back, make sure the 2 pieces are crossing over and you're putting that pin exactly where the background meets the background when it's crossing over if you fold it back 1/4 inch. And if you don't know what the 1/4 inch is, you could also mark it. So if you are using a lighter fabric, take a friction pin or something or a light pencil and put, a 1/4 inch line right at the edge of your piece. And then once you sew them together, you'll have that, drawn line on all the pieces so that you know where to line them up and you'll know where it's going to cross over. But it's really simple if you just fold it back and put a pin in it. Again, I've done so many of these. And those of you who have reached in, I'm here to help. But I'm going to put this together, though, the rest of the way off camera, like I did with the rest of the pieces. But this is pretty much how it goes when I get to that center point on the opposite end. It's going to be the same exact thing. I'm going to put my corner on, but I'm also going to recut those corners. I'll put this top corner on, the next piece, and go all the way down as if it's a row, the same way. It's just going to be the longest row, and then we'll make our way back down the opposite direction to this size. So it goes here, really big, and then back to small again. Really, really simple. And if you need to, like I said, take your project and lay it back out on the floor or back out on the design wall after each piece. It's a lot of up and down, but you get your steps in for the day and a lot of squatting because you're getting up and down from a chair. So
When you recut that piece, you're gonna cut the same hair. You're gonna add more to it.
I'm not gonna cut the same as the directions when I recut that piece. I think I'm gonna cut it like an inch bigger, and that way all this is lined up, and this will just be oversized, and all I have to do is square my corners. I'm just gonna oversize cut it because it looks like it's too small. It's literally small by a half an inch.
Yeah, it is small.
It is a half an inch off. So, and I cut according to the diamonds templates. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and recut those. It's only 4 pieces. So, and I have plenty of scrap stuff to cut 4 corners off of there and just oversize them and then take a square ruler at the end and cut that off because, yeah. So I just suggest cut a 1/4 inch bigger all the way around than your little template. So if you cut the template, or if you make a copy of the template and then cut it out, take your ruler, and when you're cutting the template out, line the ruler up with a 1/4 inch bigger on all the sides that you're cutting. You know what I mean? That way it's bigger and it should fit because it's a half an inch off, and you're going to get that half an inch if you cut a 1/4 inch bigger for your corner pieces. So the pattern is off on that one because I cut them exactly to size. So just cut it a 1/4 inch bigger than it says on the thing. All right, that's it. Any other questions? Because I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. My legs feel like Jell-O, which is what happens when I work out sometimes. I get Jell-O legs for a little while. Where are we going?
To this thing so they can see it. It all looks black on the camera.
Oh.
They can't see it. So we're going to see if this helps so they can see the colors because it all looks black.
Scott says you guys are saying it all looks black, but
No, I'm saying it.
oh, Scott says it looks black on camera. So he's holding a flashlight to it so you can see. So you see my points here? I'm not pressed yet, but you can see it's right on top of each other, touching. And then the 2 tips right here are touching. So when I iron this, it'll be better. But like this one, you can tell perfectly. It's touching. And this one is off so slightly, but once it's ironed, it's not even going to be noticeable. And this one's perfect. And then again, here's that corner, and you can see why I'm saying cut a half an inch more. Because if I lay this on here, look at that. It's a half an inch off. Yeah, so cut a 1/4 inch bigger all 4 sides of or all 3 sides of your template for that, because that is definitely off. And I sewed it according to the directions because that's why I have that little T point right here at the top. That is where it was supposed to be lined up, and this should have crossed over and been to the edge of this. So it should have been on that edge. So just cut your piece a 1/4 inch bigger all the way around. It should be fine. I'm just going to oversize cut a few pieces and call it, But again, I'm going to do all that off camera and get most of this built, and then next Breakfast at Tiffany's episode, which would be number 11, I think, I'm still going to work on this because we're going to add borders to it, at least to mine. That way I can draw this out because like I told you guys before, if I do a new quilt every single video or every 2 videos, I have so many long arm jobs plus my own. I have no room to hang up any more quilts in my closet. I literally have way too many now. So I need to make little things, little purses and little things. But I'm not going to do 10 in a row on here.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You could start doing one every other month.
Yeah. But, table runners and stuff like that I can do. So that's it. Any questions come through? No? Okay. So if you guys have any questions, ask real quick because I'm getting ready to go off of here. My Jell-O leg says, "You're done, Tiffy. You're done. Go lay down." But I will be sewing on this and get this all pieced together. And by the next time you see it, the top will be done. I don't know what I'm doing later today.
Really? You don't know where we're going? For what? Right across the street.
Oh, I'm going to the neighbor's house who is turning 80 today. My neighbor is 80 years old today, so we're going to go over there and have a barbecue. We offered to take him out, and he's like, "No, I want to make ribs." So he's making ribs. He's an unreal cuss. Let's just say that. Haha, Leroy, if you're watching.
That'd be funny if he was. He's
Well, I
not,
know
but that'd
some
be
of my
funny.
neighbors watch because they know I have a channel. Just like people at my dentist office, you know who you are watching. You know, lots of people watch my videos, so that I know personally. So it's kind of funny. Anything else I need to cover? Nope, that's it. So next video, which will be the first of next month, which is June, I will be on, but we'll be adding borders to this quilt, and you finally get to see what the whole thing looks like. And yep, the first Thursday of the month. I don't know what day it falls on. So anyways, thank you guys all for hanging out, and I hope you enjoyed breakfast at Tiffany's. Bye, everybody. Bye, bye, bye. I'm leaving. Bye.